There you are. Glad you're here. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, and this is my virtual campfire. Up now is the video version of the RV Show USA radio show, a weekly magazine format program for anyone interested in RVing and the RV lifestyle, mixed in with a little bit, I guess, of wingman wisdom. My guests are some of the smartest and most popular folks on social media in the RV space and beyond. You can find a link to them in the description below. So make sure you hit subscribe, and on that notification bell, click the word all. That way you'll never miss a video. All right, let's roll.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
I want to visit with you about making mistakes. I often ask the question, what does a mistake feel like? Does a mistake feel bad? Well, if so, why'd you make the mistake? You most likely did it because it didn't feel like anything. Well, that is until it was too late. If you hate making mistakes and you want to become an RVer, I have some bad news. You're going to be making plenty of mistakes. No matter how smart you think you are, no matter how much preparation you have made, RVing presents so many things that they can come out of nowhere, that you'll realize soon that being able to process things quickly and improvise is pretty much an essential part of the RV lifestyle. Two people that know a lot about the RV lifestyle started out RVing not that many years ago, and they're smart people, but they made a lot of mistakes. Boy, they made some big ones. John and his wife Mercedes are the RV odd couple. To me, they're not odd at all, but they are pretty much opposites in many of the things they believe. But man, have they built an empire and a huge, loyal fan base. The RV Odd Couple has a massive online presence and a super loyal community that's learned when it comes to laying it out there and telling the truth. No one does it any better. From being just campers in a campground, the RV Odd Couple now owns their own campground in Alabama. And today they're coming to us from their little piece of heaven and talking about the number one biggest mistake they think they made in their RV journey.
So here's a couple things that you should know about when you're full-time RVing, right? Because most RVers are weekend warriors. They go for shorter trips. When you're camping for 2 to 3 days, you have a different mindset. You have a vacation mindset. You're going to have a fire every night. You're going to cook on the grill every day. It's very different. When you're full-time RVing, you're not on vacation mode anymore.
Your home is where you park it.
Suddenly things like laundry, grocery shopping, and those types of errands, they take up more and more of your time. You kind of have to eat a little healthier generally.
Yeah, and Walmarts aren't everywhere. Guys, we stayed in a campground out in California where it was an hour and 15-minute ride just to get groceries, just to get milk and bread. And so you just never know, and it's fun, it's exciting, but after a little bit of time, I'd say about the first 6 months, it was all exciting, the adventure, going out, going to new places, but it did start to wear off. And when you're pulling a 42-foot rig around with a toddler and a dog every couple of weeks, it starts to wear on you.
It does. And so because of the wear and tear of the monotony of life, when you're traveling in the RV and moving from spot to spot, it's actual work,
it is.
Right? Yeah, it's fun to explore new places and to see things you've never seen before.
But it's a lot of work.
Well, and let's be real, the day before the trip is kind of a work day.
You're prepping, getting things put away, getting prepped to leave early in the morning because you don't want to drive all day.
And then the day of travel is kind of a work day too.
Well, no, and just driving the rig itself, when you're dragging 65 or 70 feet, there's a lot of stress involved with that as well, especially when you don't know exactly where you're going.
It requires your full attention,
Yep.
Right? This isn't something that you can do while scatterbrained.
Correct.
And then once you arrive at your destination, sometimes you just kind of need a day to settle.
And then the next day you're a little wore out.
Yeah, from the stress of, so things just kind of change. And I think what we're talking about is the pace. You know, you got to pace yourself. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
You're bringing everything you own with you wherever you go, and it's not super easy to move. Of course, depending on how you RV. For us, it was our whole family, a toddler, a dog, and 42-foot massive machine. That was our home, 2 bedrooms back there. But one of the biggest mistakes we made is we went too fast.
Yeah.
So what we're going to say to you is number one, slow down. You don't have to. And I think every RVer makes this mistake. You're excited, you're ready to go. We spent months sitting at home planning our route and which campground we're going to stay at all over the country.
We watched YouTube videos so that we would know everything we need to know.
Needed to know.
Because surely I would know everything if I just watched 8 straight hours of YouTube.
What we didn't realize is they always made it look like rainbows and butterflies, and there wasn't they didn't share a lot of the challenge, right? Yeah. And so what we found out in our travels over 3 years is the one thing that we would change from the way we did it is we would slow way down. We wouldn't travel as fast as we did. As a lot of you guys know, we joined 1,000 Trails, and we think it was worth every penny because we used it. 1,000 Trails works great if you use it.
If you're full time.
Our first year, we had our nights down to $10 a night using it. The problem is that you're going to be moving every couple of weeks. And when you have an RV like we did, a 43-footer with a dually, a toddler, and a dog, that's a lot of work moving every 2 weeks. Knowing what we know now, we would have probably gone monthly. So go ahead and see the areas of the country that we wanted to go into, and we would get longer term rental rates from campgrounds. As you guys know, monthly rates are a lot cheaper than the nightly rate, and semi-annual and quarterly rates are even cheaper than that. And one of the biggest questions that we got from the RV Odd Squad, the people that followed us, was what's the perfect amount of time to travel or sit still? And the truth is it depends on the person. Some people who are single, just a couple, that have no kids and no dogs, they can do 1 or 2 weeks and then pick up and move. Of course, maybe they have a smaller rig, maybe they don't. That's a lot easier than dragging around a kid and a dog with you every couple of weeks. For us, knowing what we know now, we would go one place each month and really search the area. Because when you're only parking for 1 week or 2 weeks and you're trying to get all these tourist attractions in, guys, that's a lot of work. Just getting a kid ready to take her into the mountains or into a national park or just getting a kid ready, right?
Well, exactly. And think about it. If you're there for 7 days, the first day you arrive, you're kind of getting your energy back. And then the day before you leave, you have to prep. So really, it's like you're there for 5 days. And if you have a full-time job that you work 5 days a week, you see where we're getting at? The time changes. You have to do things completely differently when you're full-time RV.
And it's different for everybody, guys. Some people like moving every week or 2 weeks. For us, it would be probably at this point going back 1 month. We would go 1 month. That way it would allow us plenty of time to get to the new location, to explore all the attractions around that location without burning ourselves out to see all those locations, right? I mean, Yosemite.
All the bucket list locations.
All the bucket list locations. Guys, those take a lot of time to actually explore. Shorter stays will cost you more money. Think about it. When you're moving every week or two, you're spending gas to get to the new location. You're also going to a new area where you don't know where anything is. So there's a little bit of stress in that, right? Especially if you need supplies.
Exactly.
2 weeks, you start to know where stuff is. And then right when you start to know where stuff is, you go. It's time to move on, right, to the next location.
You finally figured out the grocery
Yeah,
situation.
you finally got it out. You love the area, but you've already got plans, and you got to be at the next location because you
gotta go.
scheduled last year to do this. Are you feeling what I'm saying?
No.
But 1 month we found was the sweet spot for us and our family to go to a location, enjoy it, not be rushing around, know where all the local stores are, the local hospitals, everything.
Exactly.
Just in case of an emergency.
It's better to go on an RV trip and stay in one region. Maybe you're staying in the southwest corner of the country, but you really hit everything you want to see there, than to do a trip that's cross country and try to hit 6 destinations and cross 20 states. It's better to do smaller but deeper than to try to hit everything in 1 month.
It's
Does
so
that make
true.
sense?
Yeah, I think we were at 6 months of our RVing experience, full-time RVing.
And I don't know how many states.
And we went through, I don't know how many states and how many
many.
campgrounds we were moving every couple of weeks.
Yep.
By the time we got to Yosemite, we were wiped out. We were exhausted. But then, God works, right? God slowed us down for 2 months by putting a couple of birds in the back ladder. They wouldn't let us move without a fine and jail time if we didn't let those birds hatch. And boom, we got to experience Yosemite National Park for 2 months, all the way from late winter through the spring into early summer. So guys, when we started out, there was a massive trend of RVing. I mean, everybody wanted to RV. And then when COVID hit, the whole industry exploded. Everybody wanted to RV. And they didn't want to go on planes. They didn't want to, stay in hotels because of just what was going on.
We were afraid of germs.
Everybody was freaked out. So it exploded. What we're starting to notice now is the whole thing is slowing down. People are dumping their RVs. Prices are lower than we've seen them in 4 or 5 years right now. Campgrounds are starting to have a lot more vacancies.
Major pivot, I think, too, because the people that are sticking in the RV lifestyle, they're RVing differently. It's no longer a thing of like, let's hit the Grand Canyon and Key West and let's see Mount Rushmore all in one trip within 1 week. Now it's different. It's a slower pace.
Isn't it funny how hindsight is always 20/20? Most of the newbies, as they are often referred to, how are they going to learn? How do we learn? The answer most of the time, it's the hard way. RVing is exciting. It is. And the dream of traveling and exploring is intoxicating. And you know what kind of decisions can be made when you are intoxicated. Bad ones. So take it from the wingman and from John and Mercedes and most other RVers. Slowing down, taking your time. It's the best way to enjoy seeing our beautiful country. Something else, and it's a whole nother segment, is how campgrounds are less crowded than they have been over the past couple of years. And that's a good thing. If you aren't yet a member of the RV Odd Squad, well, I invite you to check out John and Mercedes online on their YouTube channel. What you see is what you'll get with the RV Odd Couple. They're funny, they're smart, they're humble and honest, and just the kind of folks you'd like to hang with around a nice campfire. In the YouTube search bar, type in RV Odd Couple. They're all over the place. And of course, we have a link up to them and a lot of other folks we highly recommend on our website at thervshowusa.com. Hey, it's the RV Wingman. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss a video. And click the word more in the description below for show links and learn how we can stay connected. Until next time, be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.